Peace. What's the word, everybody? Give everybody a chance to tap in with the kid before we start building on the subject matter for the day. Y'all see what the topic is, man. I wasn't planning on streaming today, but in light of recent events, I'm inspired to build, man. Because y'all know what it is. This type of topic is right up my alley, and I haven't went on an event along these lines in a minute, so it's well overdue. Y'all know what happened, man. Y'all been tapping into the news, man. Y'all know what we building on, man. Y'all know what it is. So what's the word? How y'all feeling, man? Ray Sean, peace. What's happening? What's the word? Montel, peace. What's happening? What's the word? Yeah, we gonna build, man. We gonna build. Living by my eye. Peace, peace. What's happening? What's the word? Prodigal son, peace. What's happening? TZ, peace. What's the word? For sure, TZ. That book is very relevant to what just happened. That mass shooting in Buffalo, New York. This book right here, the ISIS paper, right here. Keep it on deck. This book right here is very important. Very important. Patrick, what's happening? Ray Sean, there we go. Let's get it. Montel, everything is smooth, man, until got news of these recent events that happened, man, with this mass shooting and whatnot. Now I gotta build on it. Just gotta get some things off my chest. Make sure we keeping our heads up. You know what I'm saying? Wine, peace, what's happening? R Cart, peace. Chris, peace, what's the word? Ray Sean, I believe it was also one in California, Orange County, I believe, in a church. I don't think many details have came out about that one, but that also just happened. A mass shooting in California at a church. So on top of the one in Buffalo, I know that one just happened in Orange County, California, and it was in a church. I think 3 people were injured, 3 or 4 people were injured in that shooting, or one died and 3 injured, something like that, something along those lines in Orange County, California. So again, here we are. Here we are. You know what I'm saying? Here we are. Miss Night, peace. What's happening? The original people of the planet Earth minding our business, and look what happens. Look what happens. This is why we can't ignore these things. This is why we can't act like this doesn't exist. No matter how hard we try to go about our lives in the wilderness of North America, things like this have always got to be resonating in the back of our minds. Those people in the grocery store wasn't bothering anybody. Those people in Buffalo, New York wasn't plotting and planning and strategizing to kill a bunch of white folks. They wasn't planning to do that. They were not planning to do that, man. I don't know if any of you all saw the video, but I saw it. It was sick, man. It was sick. I'm talking about watching, like, dude just shooting and killing older women, like grandmothers. Like, dude, what are you doing? Just soft, man. And then they take him in alive. That's what's always funny to me. Man, shoot and kill a person like that on sight. You know what I'm saying? Shoot and kill a person like that on sight, man. That person no longer deserves to live at that particular point. There is no way that a person like that should be taken in alive, but we already know what's up with that. I can threaten to do something like that, and I may not make it out alive. Shoot and kill a person like that on sight. Trust me, no one would be sad if you shoot and kill that person on sight. You shoot and kill a person like that on sight, cool. You know what I'm saying? They deserve that, but they taking them in alive. Dude out here shooting and killing, standing over grandmothers. Man, I'm telling you, I saw the one, man, where the older black lady, she was obviously, she had been wounded. She's struggling to stay alive, and dude just make sure she's dead. Like, come on, man. Like, seriously. R Cart, most definitely. Mind control, MK Ultra. And again, we supposed to act like this doesn't exist out here. So every time somebody, like I said, this always hits home for me because I've been accused. See, y'all don't know my history, a lot of my history. I have been accused of keeping racism alive because I would always speak on it. I have been accused of that. I have literally been accused. It's been white folks accusing me of keeping racism alive because I continue to talk about it. They say the fact that I continue to talk about it is why I continue to stay alive. No, it has nothing to do with me talking about it. Little old me has nothing to do with what that dude just did. And that's an 18-year-old. It's an 18-year-old white kid. We're not talking about an older white guy, an 80-year-old white guy, a 70-year-old white guy. This is an 18-year-old. This is the offspring. This is the great grandson of these individuals. So we can no longer be like, oh, it's only these old white dudes that view us like this. No, this was an 18-year-old white boy. You know what I'm saying? We don't call him boy. You know what I'm saying? This is what he was 18. He was 18, harboring this much hate towards black people. 18. Somebody break that down to me. So now my question is, how many other 18-year-olds harbor this same belief system? Because best believe he's not the only one. Best believe he didn't just harbor that type of belief system by himself. Best believe that. Best believe he's not alone. Best believe it's other folks that harbor those same sentiments, whether it's in private or it's in public. Best believe it. Francis Cress Welsing talked about it. And it's been talked about for a minute. It's been talked about for a minute. You have got, and again, if you are a white person and you listening to what I'm saying, if the shoe don't fit, don't put it on, man. So if this don't apply to you, don't get in your feelings, or else we will blast you only in these comments, because I will go off on you. If somebody is white and they getting offended by what I'm saying, then I'm going to rightfully assume that what they say, the truth hurts the guilty. So now I'm going to go off on you. You know what I'm saying? So I wish a white person would get in here and get in their feelings, because now I'm going to feel like you in on it. I'm going to feel like you support it. I'm going to feel like you fool with it. I'm going to make that assumption. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to make that assumption. We going to make that assumption. Big Black Peace, what's happening? B, what's the word? But Francis Cress Welsing talked about it, and a few of our other great ancestors and elders have talked about it. White folks fearing a genetic annihilation of their race. Genetic annihilation. They fear it. What they call it, the great replacement theory, or whatever the case may be. So they fear it. They fear the genetic annihilation of the white race, man. With all the mixing and all that type of stuff that's going on. They cannot survive. You know what I'm saying? Because again, scientifically, we know that the black is the dominant gene and the white is the recessive gene. So if we keep mixing, then eventually they're going to wipe themselves. That's going to wipe them out. This is what they fear. So what a lot of them fear. Not saying all of you fear that, but this is what some of them fear. That's why we have certain groups like that. That's why we have certain dudes walking around with that type of ideology. This is the fear. This is literally what he was writing about in this manifesto. This 180-page manifesto that he wrote. He's talking about this. He's talking about that fear of genetic annihilation. Literally. This is not me making something up. This is what he wrote about. It's an 18-year-old white boy. 18-year-old white boy. This ain't got nothing to do with, you know what I'm saying, us planting seeds out there. This is an 18-year-old white boy fearing the genetic annihilation of his race. That's what he wrote. You know what I'm saying? And that manifesto was sick. The first goal of that manifesto for him was to kill as many black people as possible. That was his first goal. That was his first goal, to kill as many black people as possible. That's what he wrote in the manifesto. That's why he targeted Buffalo, because that was the zip code with the most black people that was nearest to him. This white boy, I ain't gonna say dude, this white boy drove 3 hours just to commit this heinous, like atrocious slaughter, man, genocide. He drove 3 hours. He drove 3 hours to make this happen. And he had been planning this for months. This dude planned everything down to a T. He even knew what type of gun the security would have. You know what I'm saying? So he knew what type of armor to wear. That's why when the retired cop, the security guard shot him, it didn't affect him, because he knew exactly what type of gun he would have. He knew exactly what type of gun security would have, so he wore the exact type of armor to protect him from the bullets. This is how he planned that out. What are we supposed to do about that? This is how strategic he was. Aqua Sun, peace, what's happening? Aqua Sun, if I'm not mistaken, you look, that's a name change there. Tamika, if I'm not mistaken. B for sure. And she stood on it. And shout out to that. So shout out to Francis Cress Welsing. That queen does not get enough credit for the work that she put in. But again, his manifesto was crazy. Very crazy, man. I mean, I'm telling you, he mapped everything down to a T. Executed exactly how he wanted to execute it. Crazy, man. And he walks out alive. He's still alive right now. Still alive. Why even put him through trial? Like, this dude should be beheaded, man. Take his head off instantly. There's nothing. We don't need to go try. We don't need to charge him with anything. We know what he did. We seen it. I don't understand why he needs to go through any process. We saw what he did. We don't need to know why he did what he did. He gave us the manifesto. We don't even need to know why. He told us why. So I don't understand what we waiting on. He told us why he did what he did, and he showed us what he did. What are we do? What? Why? What are we waiting on? Off with his head. That's how I move. That's how I feel. What we going to trial for? What we need to charge him with? We seen what he did. He told us why he did what he did. I don't understand the hold up here. Off with his head and let us all see it. Off with his head and let us all. I want to see it. You know what I'm saying? Off with his head. Let me see that. Let me see it. So I don't understand this process here. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody show you what they gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Somebody go live on Twitch and then they write a manifesto letting you know why they doing what they doing and how long they been planning it. And then you catch them. Why are we taking that person in alive? Like what are we doing? Like what are we doing? Dude and killed all these people. You know what I'm saying? What are we doing? Nah, it ain't no taking them in alive. Orders would have been boom, shoot them on sight, kill them on sight. Man, I wouldn't be too opposed or torturing them on sight. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even be opposed to that. Just torture them. Shoot, let's torture them. Something. Don't mind me, y'all. I'm a grimy person. You know, I like horror flicks. So, you know what I'm saying? Torture this guy. Make him suffer a little bit. Then off with his head. You know what I mean? I ain't one of them ones like, don't too wrong. Nah, off with his head. I ain't one of them. I'm not one of them. Turn the other cheek and you do that, off with your head. Seriously. Ray, peace, what's happening? That's how I roll. You know what I mean? That's how I roll. Prodigal son. Oh yeah, we already know. Like I said, if it would have been one of us, and then I don't even think we gotta wait for it. I think they already doing this. I think they already talking about him and like associating mental health with this situation. I think they already doing it. I haven't tapped into it, but I think I just heard something where they was mentioning his mental health. You know, this is what they are. This is what they already on. This is what they already on. Mental health. Somebody do something like this. Here we mental health. Let's start talking about mental health. Mental health. You know what I'm saying? He go do this. Mental health. Mental health. Mental health. Man, get out of here with that nonsense, man. This dude wrote down an elaborate plan. Mental health should be out of the equation. He wrote down an elaborate plan. 180-page manifesto don't spell mental health to me. He's letting you know what he's doing and why he's doing it. Why are we discussing mental health? Nothing to discuss here. Nothing to discuss, man. Like, again, nothing to discuss. Like, this is ridiculous. And again, as black people, this is what we have to tap into. This is what we have to deal with. We got to watch our backs. This is why I'm always talking about unity. This is why I'm always striving to unify black folk, whether it's black men coming together, black women coming together, black men and women coming together. This is why I say we have no time to be divided and divisive. We don't have no time for this because listen, I don't have time to be watching my back amongst my own. Then when we go out like this, now we got to watch them. Like, nah, come on now. We got to unify, man. We can't be wiping each other out because we know it's certain agendas in play to wipe us out. You know what I'm saying? So we got to stick together, man, in some way, shape, or form. This is why I'm always talking about unity. This is why. This is why, because look at this. Again, 18-year-old. This is the future. This is the younger generation of white folks. This is a young bull that got this type of mentality. And they said this dude had been like they say this guy had been buying ammunition, buying guns, and he had been practicing and shooting, all of this type of stuff, man. So he was getting ready for war type deal. Like straight up. This is what he was straight up doing. He was getting ready, he was preparing for war, man. He was preparing for war. Like when what we out here doing? What we out here arguing about? What we out here debating about? What we out here complaining about? Dude was out here getting ready for war. He was getting ready to assassinate as many black people as possible. And we want to live like this stuff is not a reality. I'm sorry, but we can't do that. I'm sorry, white folks, as much as y'all want some of us to act like this is not a reality, we can't. Because every so many weeks, months, we get reminded that it's still a reality. No matter how much we try to ignore it, no matter how much we try to be cool with it, cool with life. Here we go. We get a reminder, whether it's the cops killing us or whether it's a random civilian killing us. You know, so we can't ignore it. I can't sweep it under the rug. No matter how much I want to, no matter how much we all want to. Trust me, black people, we not out here. We listen, black folks are not out here plotting, planning, and strategizing to kill white folks. We not out here, we not doing it. We don't just wake up like, oh, okay, we want to see how many white folks we can wipe out. Man, we striving to survive, we striving to exist, we striving to have a great time. That's it. They were striving to go to the grocery store, buy food for their families and themselves. That's it, man. We are not harboring that type of hatred. And even when it was warranted, we wasn't harboring that type of hatred. Even when we was enslaved out here and they so-called freed us, but we know how that go. We still wasn't harboring that. Now, every so often you will have a Nat Turner type of situation. But for the most part, we not walking around ready to retaliate, ready to go in on like, man, we not doing that. But here we go. We get that energy towards us. We get that energy towards us. Again, we'll be ready. We'll be ready to help white folks at the drop of a dime. We ready to help y'all. Again, that's how we got semi-placed in the position, historically speaking, because we helpful. That's what we gonna do. But then we gotta worry about that. All the good kids, we already know. Let's not, we already know who's supplying them with the, you know what I'm saying? We already know what's up with that. But that's the stuff that's gonna get labeled a conspiracy. Kill peace, what's happening? We already know where he getting the gun from. We already knowing that. And they said, they said dude had made a threat. I think was it like in June or something of last year? I don't know when they said, but they said dude had made some type of threat that he was gonna shoot up a high school back when he was in school. So he had already made that type of threat. You know what I'm saying? And here you go. Here he is. Still out here. You know what I'm saying? Able to do what he did. Able to do what he did. Sebastian, we definitely all we got. Terrell, peace, what's happening? Big Black. Exactly. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So we, again, here we go. And that's why you done had a lot of these groups. You know what I'm saying? Why we exist for the most part. And I'm talking about the black cultures. A lot of us exist in response to how we have been treated over the years in the wilderness of North America. We didn't just jump up and have this type of rhetoric, man. We went through some things, we experienced some things, and now we had to speak the truth. We had to teach the truth to our people about what's happening, about the people that's oppressed us. You know what I'm saying? Because we seen that they was out here deaf, dumb, and blind. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why a lot of us exist. And it's a lot of us, you know what I'm saying? It's just, and this is one thing this one thing is part of the trick knowledge. We got a lot of groups. We got a lot of black organizations. But most of these black organizations just got to come together because a lot of these black organizations have a lot of members within each organization. All we got to do is just start coming together collectively as organizations, as cultures, as religions. And we got to agree to, most of us do agree that we have a common enemy. Now we just got to redirect that energy that we spend debating amongst one another about little trivial things that we disagree with. Because if you look at the Nation of Islam, look how deep they are. That's a black organization. You look at what I'm a part of, 5% Nation of Gods and Earth, a black organization. Look how many of us it is. You can talk about Kemetic sciences. Look how many black folks represent Kemet. You know what I'm saying? You look at the Moors. Look how many black people represent that. Look at the Hebrew Israelites. These are black organizations. These are black cultures. These are black religions. And most of us are literally saying the same exact thing. We understanding that we have one common enemy. So one thing that we say the devil likes to do is make it appear as if we are more divided than we actually are. No, it's plenty of us that have the same type of mentality. We have the same type of, listen, we have the same or similar ideologies. All we got to do is come together, and we got to learn to keep some of that stuff in our back pocket, like the trivial things that we disagree with. But for the most part, our foundation is the same. From the Moors, the Hebrew Israelites, Nation of Islam, 5%. Most of us are literally saying the same thing in reference to black folks and white folks. Most of us are literally saying the same thing. We start disagreeing, or we start debating about the origin of man and things like that. That's what we start debating about. That's what we start debating about. Forget all that. I don't care if we came from Africa, Jerusalem. Like, I don't care where we came, America. I don't care where you feel like we was at first. I don't care nothing about that. Why am I debating you about that? I don't care if you think that we was in America first. I don't care if you think that we all came from Africa. At the end of the day, as long as we can agree that we the original man and original woman, then we good. No need to debate all this other nonsense. We are saying the same thing. We basically all saying that the black man and woman was first, and everything stemmed from that. Outside of that, what are we arguing about? Oh, you think that we Hebrews, you think that we Moors, you think that we this. Are we Asiatic? Dude, all of that, cool. We don't need to argue about that. We are literally saying the same exact thing, and we are agreeing that we have a common enemy. So let's get it. Let's get it. But when you look at all of these black organizations, Black Panthers, I'm talking all these black organizations, the real black organizations, not Black Lives Matter and all that type of nonsense, not Urban Leagues and NAACP, none of that nonsense. That's mainstream BS, and I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about these real black organizations. You know what I'm saying? Real black organizations where I know brothers in these organizations, sisters in these organizations that stand true to it. You know what I mean? Now you got to sometimes watch the Nation of Islam. But for the most part, I know a lot of genuine brothers in that particular mix, you know. But sometimes you gotta watch them because, unfortunately, some of that joint is being infiltrated. You know what I mean? But they don't want to hear that though. But some of that joint is being infiltrated. But for the most part, one thing I will commend the Nation of Islam on is that you got a lot of brothers and sisters in that thing that's unified. That's unified. I can't knock that. I can't knock the structure of the Nation of Islam. That you can't knock that. You know what I'm saying? The Nation of Islam, they cleaned up a lot of brothers and sisters and got them walking toward a righteous path. You know, so I can't knock that. I can't knock that. So we got a lot of organizations. That's why I always tell people, man, if you're gonna subscribe to something that's black. Just do that much. You know, so we got a lot of unity out here. We just not doing what we need to do with that unity. That's the problem. That's the problem, man. We got, like, again, like I say, 5% Nation of Guys. That's the culture I come from. Got the lessons in my book bag. It's a lot of us out here. It's a lot of us out here. Like, we out here. You know what I'm saying? We just got to do something with that. We just got to do something with that. Like, that's what we got to do. You know, like the Nation of Islam, they got the FOI. You know what I'm saying? And them brothers, when it comes to defending Farrakhan, they all on that, you know? We got to do more of that. You know what I'm saying? We got to teach self-defense. Like, we got to teach these type of things, man. We got to make that a priority. We got to make that a priority. What to do in emergency situations like that. We all should be trained how to respond in a situation like that. Seriously, like, this is the type of training that we all need. You know, we just all need this type of training, man, because it's real in the field. Chris, for sure, 100%. We losing a lot, you know. But at the end of the day, even amongst us losing that, like, we the original people of the planet Earth, so our numbers never gonna dwindle. Like, we gonna lose people to that. But at the end of the day, like, we gotta continue to do our duty, as my culture talks about. 5% of us gonna know the truth, and we gonna teach that truth. So we understand that it's always gonna be like a small percentage of us that accept this truth and that's willing to teach that truth and that's willing to fight for that truth. We understand that. But at the end of the day, when you study the Maroons, when you study our ancestors that were outnumbered, but yet still was coming out victorious and instilling fear in them white folks, guerrilla warfare is what we must practice and master. You know? So it ain't nothing being outnumbered. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing being outnumbered. Like, the Maroons was definitely outnumbered and they was instilling fear in them folks. They was instilling fear in them folks with guerrilla warfare tactics, you know. So it's all good. Terenzo, peace, what's happening? Big Black, you say, what we gonna do about these rich celebs with huge platforms? They ignorant and programmed to the fullest. You know, and I always talk about that. I got the book, The $40 Million Slaves. That mainly is talking about athletes, but you can apply that to entertainers, you know, and that's what a lot of them are. They $1 million, $1 billion slaves, point blank, period. $1 million, $1 billion slaves. That's what a lot of these folks are. That's what a lot of these entertainers are. That's what most of them are. Like, seriously. They $1 million, $1 billion slaves, man. And I don't expect anything less from them, man. Especially a lot of them come out here and they'll speak some truth. They'll post something that's truthful, then come out and apologize or try to delete it. Things like that. Because it's hurting their, you know what I'm saying? It's hurting their pockets. It's hurting their pockets, man. So I don't, you know, unfortunately, a lot of them don't really realize the power. I mean, some of them do, but a lot of them don't really realize the power of influence, you know, and just how they can change the fabric of the nation, of the black nation, by doing simple things like posting a book. Like, again, and I always say this, let's just say you got somebody like, I don't want to pick on nobody, but let's just say you got a platform like LeBron James. All LeBron James got to do is go on Instagram and just boom, just post that right there. He ain't got to say nothing. LeBron James just post this book right here. How many people you think gonna go grab that book? How many people LeBron James just popped up and said, boom, posted that book? How many people you think gonna buy that book? Man, I listen, I'm nowhere near the level of LeBron James, and I done posted plenty of books, and I done seen people go grab the book while they on the stream, just off me posting it. So I could imagine somebody like LeBron James saying, "Hey, boom, go get this." Come on now, do y'all understand just something simple like that? What that could do? LeBron do that, then Carmelo Anthony go do that. You know what I'm saying? Like all these dudes just start posting this book, posting Amos Wilson, Marcus Garvey. You know what I'm saying? All these type of things. What's gonna happen? Lil Wayne say, "All right, the ISIS papers." What's gonna happen? Dale, peace. What's happening? Like, what's gonna happen? Man, you gonna see the set. They ain't even gonna be able to print enough copies of the book. So again, man, it's just like I wish some of these brothers was moving like that on their platforms. Now we all know what end up happening to a brother like that. We already know what end up happening. Like we already know what it end up happening to individuals like that if they start posting books like that. We already know. Leo Velli, peace. What's happening? What's the word? Yeah, AK, man, for sure. You know what I'm saying? And that's I got a few, man. I got a book called The Maroon Within. I think it's somewhere around here. I don't see it out the gate, but that book is somewhere in here, man. I got a few books on the Maroons. I got a few books on Toussaint L. Overture, things like that, man. I got a few books on Dessalines, all these type of books, man. You know, and like the reason why I bring that up is to just show and prove that it's possible. You know what I'm saying? Like it's possible for us to be outnumbered, yet still instill that fear. Like we just gotta band together, man. A lot of times things revolve around fear. His whole act revolved around fear. I'm talking about this 18-year-old white boy. He did what he did out of fear. He literally did what he did out of straight fear. Peach, exactly. That dude, like I said, off with his head. Off with his head. It shouldn't even take long. Off with his head. Off with his head. Shouldn't take long. We don't need to hear nothing about a trial. We don't need none of that. Off with his head. He told us why he did what he did. Then he showed us what he did off with his head. Yeah, Leo Velli. Yeah, I got that book somewhere. You know, I got it. I got it. The Black Jacobins. I got that book. Definitely. I got that joint somewhere around here, man. That's a powerful book. That's a very powerful book. Chris, you know, I'm of the opinion that there is no outside force that's going to force us to cooperate. The only outside force that I deal with is unification, which we have seen several times. That's a force that's greater than myself. We didn't have black folks waiting on an outside source to come and save us for a very long time, and it's not gonna happen. You know, and I'm not gonna necessarily say that we doomed because, like I said, we have prime examples of what unity looks like. You know, we got organizations, we got groups. You know, again, we got to celebrate those small victories. We got to celebrate those small victories, and we got to make sure we incorporate ourselves amongst them. Like I said, just in my area, man, I got good relationships with a lot of people from all other groups. Like I'm cool with a lot of Hebrew Israelites. I'm cool with a lot of Moorish brothers, especially in my area. Most of these groups that I'm talking about, I'm cool with these dudes. Like we don't come around and we don't debate and all that. Man, I got a Moorish brother that always supports what I do around here. And he making big moves in the community. So that's the Moorish and the 5% community coming together because we cool. And I know some Hebrew Israelite brothers where I'm at. We get along just fine. I just mentioned how I'm cool with a lot of NOI brothers. All we got to start doing is we just got to come together a lot more. That's it. But we got the unity out here. We got the organizations. We got the numbers for real. We just got to start coming together more. And for a minute, I was doing that on my own here. I was actually holding meetings back when I was in college. Man, I had it was a group of like 10 of us. You know what I'm saying? And we was building and we was plotting, planning, and strategizing. Not on no kill everybody type vibes, but we was just, you know what I'm saying, teaching what needed to be taught type deal. So I'm not necessarily of the opinion that we are doomed because we have a lot of us that have common sense that are a part of different organizations that understand that we saying the same thing. More of us, we just got to start coming together and we just got to start promoting it and advertising it. Again, they gonna put their trick knowledge out here. We got to do our job and our duty to neutralize. Like I said, that's part of their trick knowledge. They want to make it seem like we more divided than what we really are. They want to make it seem like there is no unity. Man, I know a lot of Bloods and Crips that get along. You know what I'm saying? Like I know a lot of these things. It's out here. We just don't promote it. You know what I'm saying? They just show what they want us to see. They just show what they want us to see, man. It's a lot more unity out here amongst us than they want us to believe. And that's why you got this 18-year-old boy running around in fear. In fear. You know what I'm saying? Again, the number ain't gonna be a crazy number in regards to how heavy we are, how deep we are in the wilderness of North America, but it's definitely enough. We just got to start coming together more. That's it. You know, we live busy lives. We just got to start, boom. We just got to start coming together and planning for things such as this. You know that's it. Like that's it for real. Matter of fact, what the crazy thing is, because like a lot of brothers, man, we coming together on that end now. Where they really got us is this whole black man versus black woman type of nonsense. That's where a lot of people are directing their energy out here. That's where a lot of the energy is directed now. You know, they really trying hard to destroy the relationship between black men, black women. They've been doing this, but now it's real heavy in the field. And I feel like part of that is because of the rise in consciousness that was happening. If y'all can recall, way back when, right around the time I was in college, like 2009, 2010, 2011, when everybody was talking about Illuminati this, Illuminati that, and then when you was on YouTube and there was a lot of conscious content on YouTube, like black people was definitely coming together. Everybody was peeping the scene. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was peeping the truth, man, because they wasn't banning videos. Like, you was able to post whatever and it stay on YouTube. So it was a lot of content like that that was on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? And this was about 10 plus years ago. And this was waking a lot of people up. I can't tell you how many times people that I wouldn't have thought would have been woken up, like awakened, was sending me videos of dudes from like Sinetta and all this type of stuff that was spitting some information, dropping some knowledge. This was way back when. So a lot of black people was waking up at that time. And it was all because of YouTube. It was all because of YouTube. All the content they was posting on YouTube. I'm talking about the Obama deception. People was getting exposed to politics. They was breaking everything down. You know what I'm saying? And this was unifying a lot of black folks. And they had to neutralize that. So they say, boom, we gonna ban a lot of these videos. We gonna take a lot of these channels down that's talking about it. And then we about to make them go against one another. The black man and black woman. But at one point, man, we had that, man. We had the floor. We was dropping jewels. Matter of fact, that was a trend. Walking around with dashikis and saying peace queen and this, that, and the third. That's why everybody was hitting me up back in the day, trying to get some information, trying to get some books way back when, because they was being inspired by all the content that was on YouTube, man. It was trendy to be on that. That's why some of the brothers right now, that was pushing that knowledge heavy back in the day, that's why they done sold out, because it's no longer trendy. But back then, that was the trend to talk about black consciousness, to talk about this black information, to talk about black unity. That was a trend, just like when you had that wave in the 90s where conscious music was very popular. And they didn't like that, so they had to neutralize it. When you had Public Enemy out here on the mainstream, they had to neutralize it. They say, oh, wait a minute, this is causing a problem. YouTube was doing the same thing. Now, ain't nobody tapping in like that to Sinetta. Like, ain't nobody watching these same dudes that they were watching 10 plus years ago, because a lot of these dudes are sold out and they doing things for the wrong reasons. Because YouTube and these social media platforms penalize them for it. But man, you was gonna trend. That's why I said, man, if I was on YouTube back in the day, I would have been way bigger, because that was the thing. That was the thing, to break down music videos, to talk about these white folks. You know what I'm saying? And then like Mike Brown happened. Like, this was all popular. This was all the trend. And then boom, they got rid of that. They was like, all right, hold on, wait a minute. We got to start censoring a lot of this. And that's why I've been talking about censorship for that long, because they was talking about it then. They was talking about it then. Now, again, they've been talking about it before we had YouTube, you know, when 9/11 and all that type of stuff happened. And even before then, you know what I'm saying? When Khalid Muhammad was out here making his speeches and whatnot. So they've been talking about it. But I'm just strictly talking about this platform and what it was doing at a certain point. And you had all these, a lot of brothers that made their name today simply because what they was talking about on YouTube back then. But now it's not popular, and it can hurt your pockets to talk about it. So now these brothers looking lost. They scattering because they made their name talking about this black consciousness, black unity, black information, black power, this. And now it's no longer popular. And now it might get your channel deleted. It might get you banned. And they like, oh snaps, I gotta talk about something else. Let me talk about what's popular now. Let me talk about these relationships. Let me talk about the dysfunction between black men and black women. They created that, man. They created that. They manufactured it. You know what I'm saying? Because it was boom. We was on it. And I'm telling you, people were very receptive. We just got to continue to be on it, but we got to take, you know what I'm saying? We got to take another approach now. We got to take another approach, you know, and one of the approaches is to do things outside of these platforms, do things in the physical. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the approaches that we have to take. But man, it was cracking, man. People was open to it. I'm talking about people inboxing me, wanting to, you know, hey man, what book you be reading? Woo woo. They killed that instantly. They knew what was happening. Like they saw it, you know. That's why I was getting threats in my Facebook inbox telling me I need to watch what I'm talking about from profiles with no profile picture. Bots, basically. You know what I'm saying? Them bots was out here warning me, say, hey, you need to watch what you're talking about. You know, not what you're talking about is wrong, misinformation. No, you need to watch what you're talking about. Then next thing you know, it's like that page is deleted, that page is gone. Those are the type of warnings I was getting on Facebook when my name was Illuminati Bell. That was my name. Like that was my name on Facebook. That was my name. That was my name on Facebook. Illuminati Bell, and boom, that's what was happening. Getting threatened by those bots. Thomas Anderson, I'm gonna drop the jewel because you say 5 apples, 10 hungry people. First of all, the way we gonna get past that is mastering hunger. You know what I'm saying? Because hunger, like for one, that's all in our heads, man. That's why I always talk about fasting. So I'm gonna right there, hunger. We can go a very long time without actual food. So we gotta learn how to survive like that, and it's called fasting. This is why I've been teaching fasting for the longest, because I already know what's gonna go down. And when it goes down, we gotta be ready. One of the best ways to be ready for something like that is master the art of fasting. We master the art of fasting. I'm telling you, that's gonna take us a long way. That's gonna take us a long way. That's gonna take us a long way. When we master the art of fasting, that's gonna take us a long way. It's gonna take us a long way for sure. Something simple as mastering that art of fasting. Just something simple like that gonna take us a long way in regards to unification. Mastering the art of fasting. Mastering the art of fasting. Learning how to survive off of eating less. Simple. It's real simple. Like real simple. Humans just complicated. And that's what it is. That's the age-old philosophy. Life is simple, humans make it complicated. We making this thing real complicated. It's really not. We do that though. We overthink the situation. We overthinking the situation. You know what I'm saying? It's really not that complicated. But we about to start making it complicated. We about to start creating realities that don't even exist. You know what I'm saying? And things like that, man. It's real simple out here. Just look at the unity in this stream. We're gonna start on this stream. Look at the unity in this stream. You know what I'm saying? And then go to a bigger platform than mine. Look at the unity in that stream. So we got examples of a lot of unity. Let's focus on that. What we focus on, it grows. All we got to do is continue to focus on the unity. Again, if it's a person that's not striving to unify, we're not focusing on them. Just like the white folks. The white folks don't mind taking their own people out. And the white folks, if it's a group of white people that come together and then it's some white folks that ain't fooling with the mission, they don't care about them. That's how it got to be. We not trying. We ain't gonna. We know we look. Listen. Logically, we know we're not gonna get every black person on the planet to see things how we seeing it. We know that we're gonna have to take some L's as far as some black people just not waking up. And it might be family members. It might be so-called friends. It is what it is. But I guarantee you, we got enough of us that got common sense. I know we got enough of us that view things similarly. I know we got enough of that. You know what I'm saying? I know that for a fact. It's enough of that walking around here. Because I know how many black organizations we have. I'm a part of one. I'm part of a black culture. I know how many of us exist out here. And it's just in my culture. Like, it's a lot of us out here. You study the 5% nation of gods on earth, it's a lot of us. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of us. When y'all heard it peace and y'all see the peace like that, it is a lot of us. A lot of people have been influenced by the culture. So it's a lot of us, man. It's a lot of us. We just gotta start mastering some simple principles out here. We gotta start mastering the art of fasting. We gotta start mastering the art of self defense. You know what I'm saying? Survival tactics, survival strategies, things like this, growing our own foods, things like that, man. We gotta learn how to self-govern ourselves. Like, it's about to get that real in the field. When it gets that real in the field, these are important things that we have got to have mastered. You know what I'm saying? Those are simple things that we have got to have a master, man. And again, if it just starts with 10 of us, that's a start. We can't ignore that. And that's what I tell everybody. Celebrate your small victories. We like to focus on the dysfunction. You know what I'm saying? We like to highlight the dysfunction, highlight the unity, and that is what's going to grow. So highlight that. Highlight brothers coming together. Highlight sisters coming together. Highlight brothers and sisters coming together. Highlight that and it grows. Simple principle. We have got to start exercising our mental power. This is the same mental power that they do not want us exercising because they know how powerful it is. You know, that's why they try to keep us deaf, dumb, and blind, because they know how powerful that mental power is, especially when it's unified. When it is unified and enough of us come together and exercise this mental power and we direct it in the proper direction, it is a game changer. And they know and they understand this. This is why they miseducate us. You know what I'm saying? This is why they fabricate truths out here. This is why they try to advertise and push and promote poisonous foods that corrupt our pineal glands and things like that, that calcify the pineal gland. This is why they do these things, man. This is why they do these things, man, because they know and understand, like, hey, if enough of them come together and exercise this mental power, this is going to be the result. We don't like that. That's why any brother that comes up and he looks like a threat to the establishment, let's do something to him. Let's silence him. Let's assassinate him. Let's destroy his character. Like bring up all these allegations. Like, let's do these things to him, because they know what comes with that unified mind. They know what comes with that unified mind. They do not want to, like, this is why, coming from my culture, the 5% culture, this is why they were trying to ban the mathematics in the prisons. They didn't want brothers speaking their own language. They didn't want brothers speaking in so-called code in which they couldn't understand, because that was unity. They didn't want that. So it was banning it. They were like, nah, you brothers can't be speaking like that in these prisons, man. Nah, we're not going to allow it. We ain't going to allow certain books in these prisons. You can't read this book in this prison. You know what I'm saying? You ain't going to be able to do that. They didn't want them learning certain things. They didn't want them speaking a certain type of language in a prison. This is why. It's unity. So any chance they get, they're going to disrupt the unity. Any chance they get, they're going to make it look like we not as unified as we really are out here. That's what they out here doing. This is what they are out here doing. So again, I'm not here to disagree with anybody, because I don't care about none of that. You know what I'm saying? I know at the end of the day who we got. We all we got. So again, little petty nonsense, I don't really care about that, because when it's time to go to war, we gonna have to have each other's back. We're gonna have to have each other's backs. We're gonna have to be unified at that particular point. What we gonna do? You know what I'm saying? What we gonna do when it's time, when it's really wartime? We gonna sit and debate about us not being unified? Nah, we gonna have to fight at that point. We ain't gonna have time for it. We ain't gonna have time for it. It's gonna be time. It's gonna be time to put up or shut up at that point. It's gonna be time to put up or shut up. But instead of us, we'll be in that burning house arguing about where the origin of the fire took. Like, who? Like, where's the origin of the fire? Why is fire happening? Instead of us getting out the house, we arguing about where the fire started at and why it started. That's what we gonna do. I ain't got time for that. Get out the house. You gonna burn up in that house trying to figure out where it started from or why it started. No, get out of the house. Save yourself from the fire. You know what I'm saying? Who cares where the fire started? It's a fire in the crib. The crib is burning down. Let's get out of here. We gonna stay in the crib and we gonna debate about where it started from. No, like, we ain't got time for that. We ain't got time. We ain't got time for that, man. We ain't got time for that. I'll be hard pressed. If some stuff pop off, I'm not arguing. I'm gonna let y'all know right now. I'm not arguing with any of you brothers about the origin of humanity. I'm not arguing with any of you brothers about unity. I'm telling y'all that right now. I'm gonna grab you by your throat if you're trying to argue with me. I'm gonna tell you, come on. You know what I'm saying? I'm not arguing with any of y'all about anything. If some stuff get real, some stuff pop off, I'm grabbing you by your throat, say, brother, come on, shut up. We ain't got time for this conversation. We ain't finna argue about nothing. We finna come on. I'm finna grab you by your throat, collar, whatever you got on, and we finna roll. We finna roll. I'm not arguing. We finna roll. That's what's gonna happen. We ain't arguing about going left or right. You finna go wherever I pull you. We going. I ain't finna argue with you. You know what I'm saying? No. It's time that we finna unify at that moment. Doing all this arguing, debating, all this ego nonsense. Nah, it's a war going on. Bow, come on. Let's go. Strength in numbers at that point. Strength in numbers at that particular point. Because what Prodigy and them say, what Mobb Deep say, it's a war going on outside no man is safe from. Survival of the fittest. That's what's happening out here, man. So war going on outside, no man is safe from. So our man said, that's what's happening. What Nip them say? Stay dangerous. That's what we got to be on out here. Stay dangerous. That's what we got to be on, man. Stay dangerous. That's how we got to move, man. That's how we got to move. We can't focus on right now. We can't focus on the ones who can't see the light, who just want to argue about common enemies. We got to focus on the ones that agree. We got to focus on those of us that agree that we have this common enemy. That's where we got to be focusing. That's where we got to direct our energy. That's where we have to direct our energy, man. Like, seriously. Because again, what happened to those people in that supermarket? Mystical Harmonizer Peace, what's happening? What happened to those people in that supermarket, man, is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? That's just ridiculous. But what's more ridiculous is the agenda that 18-year-old white boy had. That's what's even more ridiculous. That manifesto is just even more ridiculous, man. So, and again, it begs the question, how many other young white boys got this same type of belief system? Where did he get, like, we know where he got it from. You know what I'm saying? We know that there's people out here with that type of belief system and ideology. So we know where he got it from. But how many other people his age got that same belief system? How many other white folks, how many other young white men or white boys were influenced by his manifesto today? How many young white boys saw what he did and got inspired? See, these are the questions that we got to ask ourselves, man. We have got to ask ourselves these questions. Who was inspired by what he did? Because you best believe some white boy somewhere got inspired by what he did. Because that's what happens, man. It's like when you see something in a movie and you're like, dang, man, they did that. You get inspired by it. This type of stuff inspires folk. So who was inspired? Who was touched by what he did? He did what he did for a reason. Literally, he said that in the manifesto. He said part of his agenda for publishing the manifesto was to inspire others. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to leave this ideology behind to inspire others. The real piece, what's happening. So we have got to understand that. Best believe somebody somewhere was inspired by what he did. Best believe. Best believe. We got to be on the lookout for that, man. We have got to be on the lookout for that type of situation. Once again, that's why my head is always on the swivel. Now, I'm not saying my head being on the swivel would have prevented anything from happening, because, I mean, if you watch the video, your head could have been on the swivel. If you was one of them first ones, it wasn't much you could have done. Like, you could have saw that coming and still wouldn't have been able to move fast enough. Because you in the grocery store, you not thinking, hey, somebody gonna come shoot this grocery store up today. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, that's part of why when I go to places and it's a lot of people, my head is on the swivel. I'm watching folks. I'm watching my surroundings, man. My head is always on the swivel. I'm trying to stop peeping the scene. When I see a car pull up and then they getting out, like, man, what they doing? Like, what are they doing? Like, what are they doing? Like, my head is always on the swivel. I done told y'all plenty of times where I done spotted some weird situations, especially with white folks. Like I said, I remember I was in the gym one time. I was working in the gym, but I was working out at this time, and it was this weird white dude. Now, granted, it's other white dudes in here, but it was one in particular that looked strange. Dude had on he had one of them trench coats, just long coat, and it was hot. I'm like, man, why is this dude in this gym with this coat on, man? I watched that dude the whole entire time. Every rep I did, I had my eyes on this white dude, man. He was walking around looking weird. You know what I'm saying? It's hot outside. It's hot in this gym. Now, granted, some people work out with long sleeves on because they try to lose some weight, but this brother was skinny. This white dude was skinny. So he got on his long little trench coat, and he at this gym, and it didn't really look like he was trying to get a good workout. It's like he was scoping the scene. So I'm like, all right, hold on. I watched him the whole time. And I feel like I was the only one that was really watching him. Everybody else was acting like this dude wasn't in there like that. I was watching him the whole time. I kept my eyes on that dude my whole entire workout. Matter of fact, I think I altered my workout so that I can stay close to him. That's what I did. I kid y'all not. Remember that? I remember that day like it was yesterday. I was not taking my eyes off that white dude. The moment he would have reached inside of that coat, I probably would have tackled him, and we would have just been fighting. I'm telling you, I kept my eyes on the whole time, man. That was. I never seen that white dude at that gym before that, nor after that. That was very random. It was weird. I never seen that white, and I had been going to that gym for years. The only gym I ever was working out at. Never seen that white dude before that, nor after that. I was like, this is a weird situation. Weird situation. I'm like, nah, we finna watch this cat. Watch him the whole time. Whole time. All right, nah, he ain't finna pull up. He ain't finna do nothing crazy up in here. And if he do, I'm gonna try to be on top of it. That is how I keep my head. That's how I try to keep my head on the swivel, man. I'm going to identify something that don't sit right with me. And y'all know y'all got gut feelings, man. That's the gut is the second brain. When you tapped in, listen, your gut gonna tell you some things. I'm tapped in with myself. So my gut was like, watch this dude. Again, the gut, this ain't nothing that's irrational. Your gut is a second brain. So your gut can deal with logic when you tap in. So my gut was like, hey, yep, watch him. My gut and my mind was in alignment. Like my gut and my brain, the first and second brain, they was in alignment. They was like, watch this dude. You know, that's what. Listen to your gut, dude. Like people do this all the time. I know I ain't the only one. When you got a group of friends and or your partners or your girlfriends, your homies, or your family members trying to get you to go somewhere, but deep down you got this feeling like, nah, man, I don't think it's wise to go to this particular venue tonight. Something telling you not to go. A lot of people don't listen to themselves, to that gut. Then they end up going. Guess what? It's a shooting that took place. Like, man, I knew I shouldn't have went. Someone was telling me not to go. I've been there, done that. I started listening to that gut though. If I get that feeling like, nah, man, don't even go to that, man. Don't even do it. Don't even go. I ain't going. I am not going. A lot of people go against that gut. They end up going, and some weird stuff always pops off because your gut is letting you know you don't need to be going to this particular environment. You don't need to be going to this particular venue. You just don't need to do it. That gut don't lie, man. But we don't listen to it enough, man. We don't listen to that gut enough, man. We do not stick to that gut. We do not listen to that gut, and we got to start doing it more. Like I said, that saved my. I ain't gonna say saved my life because I don't know if something would have happened to me, but that kept me out of some harmful situations. Listening to the gut, listening to that gut feeling, listening to that second brain, it kept me out of some harmful situations. It's like, all right, bet I ain't going. You know, and the homeboys that went, they end up hitting me up like X, Y, and Z happened. I'm like, yeah, I'm glad I ain't go. You know, so you gotta apply that gut instinct to when you out in public. You know what I'm saying? Your gut gonna let you know, hey, watch this person. Look out for this. Look out for that. Keep your eyes on this. Keep your eyes in that direction. This is weird. This ain't lining up right. What's up with him? Why are you getting out the car like that? Like your gut gonna direct you. It's gonna let you know what's not right. It's gonna let you know what's off. It's gonna let you know. It's gonna let you know. Mine does it all the time. Like, hey, all right, hold on, yeah, hold up. This ain't right. Nah, this ain't adding up. Cool. Let me make this move. Let me go in this direction. You know what I'm saying? Gut be talking. At the time, really, it ain't the gut. It's you talking to you. You know what I'm saying? It's you talking to you. That's it. Just listen to yourself, man. You know when things ain't right. You know when things ain't adding up. You know when you get a feeling. You know what I'm saying? You know when you get it. You know when you get it, man. Just listen to it, man. Just listen to it. Like sometimes some people even get dreams. Like I talked about when I worked at the bank, man. We got robbed twice at the bank, and each time before we got robbed, I had dreams that we got robbed. So sometimes your dreams gonna talk to you. You know what I'm saying? Your dreams gonna warn you, foreshadowing. Like you will get a dream before something happens, man. The prophecy, literally. Each time before the bank I worked at got robbed, I had dreams, and I told people the second time I was like, damn, I was like, I had another dream. You know what I'm saying? I put that energy in the atmosphere. So man, my mind is tapped in. So I get a dream before something happens. If something strange is gonna happen, I'm gonna get a dream. But what do we do though? What do? We ignore that. We gotta start listening to folks more. Man, if somebody like I take that seriously. If somebody come to me and tell me that they had a dream that involved me and it was something serious, let me listen. Let me listen. I'm like, hold on, what you mean? Because I done had those dreams. I done had those dreams that literally became realities. Now again, we can pinpoint every dream to some type of reality when we interpret the dream and break it down. But I have had literal dreams like where this literal thing happened. It happened exactly how it happened in my dream. When something like that happens, man, you might want to listen to a person that's telling you that. If I'm telling you, if I'm working we working in the bank together, and I'm telling you, I'm like, bro, I had a dream that we got robbed. The first time I had this dream, we got robbed. Now I'm having another one. We need to take security measures. They didn't take the security measures until we got robbed the second time. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, it shouldn't like we look at people like they crazy. Oh, big black man for sure, man. That's a whole video. Like I can do a whole video breaking down the 5% culture, man. We out here, we deep. We out here, we deep. We teach the truth, you know, and we always studying. We always doing the knowledge as we call it. You know what I'm saying? We out here, man. Here go my lessons. I keep my lessons on me. Pages of lessons, man. 120 is what we call it. Pages. You gotta memorize these bad boys. And we out here, man. We always studying. We always striving to teach the truth. We always striving to do our duty. You know what I'm saying? And again, we out here, man. We out here deep. That culture, man, it saved my life, changed my life, and it's continuing to do the same. So I'm always paying homage to the culture, man, and striving to be a good representation of the culture, you know. And I'm striving to get as many people. Like I said, I ain't trying to convert nobody to nothing because again, we ain't on that type of time, you know. But people that's interested in it hit me up all the time. But y'all ain't never seen me on YouTube trying to convert everybody to my reality. I ain't doing that. But I do just say, hey, if you gonna have an ideology, make it be a black one. So I do go hard on non-black ideologies because for real, man, we got enough black ideologies out here for you to subscribe to at least one of them. You know what I'm saying? We got enough of those. So if you're gonna subscribe to something, let it be black, man. Seriously, we got enough of that. You gonna subscribe to something white? You gonna subscribe to something that your oppressor created for you? That I don't understand. I understand it, Stockholm syndrome, but it's like, nah. That's when I'm gonna go hard. Confessions and therapy. Weird. Yep, definitely. Or you weird, you crazy, that ain't gonna happen. Then it happens. I'm telling y'all, when I have dreams, they are very important. Like that's how I feel. Like when I have dreams, like they are very important. Vivid. You know what I'm saying? And again, most like a lot of that stuff be ending up happening. Deep for sure. I'm telling you, man, when you tapped in, man, when you in tune, it's crazy. And then when you start fasting more and you start getting yourself healthier, you're gonna be more tapped in than ever. Like your mind really gonna be talking to you at that point. Like you really gonna start getting signs. You really gonna start paying attention more. Like it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy, man. Like it's really crazy. Not even crazy, but it's really real in the field. It's really real in the field, man. But we just gotta, like I said, man. That's why I'm always advocating studying. You know, that's why we always bringing up the black books written by the black authors. Like, man, we still got work to do in that regards, man. We still got work to do in regards to us attaining knowledge of self collectively because we don't have it out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have it. That's why you see the disconnect between black men and black women because, again, that knowledge of self is still lacking. You give the black man knowledge of himself and you give the black woman knowledge of herself, they not about to fight. They not gonna fight. I'm telling you, you're not gonna have like fight in that regards. In the way they have us fighting now, they're not gonna fight like that. Everybody gonna have their little disputes and arguments. That's gonna happen. But I'm saying when you give a black man knowledge of himself and you give that black sister knowledge of herself, they gonna come together for the greater good of black civilization. That's what they're gonna do. That's what they're gonna do. But that knowledge itself is lacking. That knowledge of black history is lacking. That knowledge of the black culture is lacking. That's why we out here teaching it. That's why we out here recommending books, suggesting books. You know, people say we stuck in the past, but we got to be stuck in the past because people still not doing the knowledge to that glorious past. You know, and again, that's the only way to move forward. Digging in that past. That's called Sankofa. You know, so there is no way that you can technically disconnect from the past. No matter how hard you try to do it, that past gonna be a part of you, and that past gonna have something to do with your future. You know, so study that past, embrace that past, see where we went wrong in that past. That's what it's there for. You use the past as a tool, just like anything else, just like everything else. Use the past as a tool to be better in the future. You know, that's what we supposed to do. That's why I'm always bringing up Amos Wilson, man, Francis Cress Welsing, John Henry Clark, Marcus Garvey, Dr. Ben, Fred Hampton, Claude Anderson. That's why I'm Ashaka Musa Barashango. Like, that's why I'm bringing up a lot of Dr. Sabi, Layla Africa. Man, we can keep going. George Jackson. You know what I'm saying? We could just keep going. Huey Newton, Bobby Seale, all these folks, Asada Shakur. Like, this is why we mention these people. Sister Soldier back in the day when she was going hard on the system. You know, Shahrazad Ali. This is why we mention these folks, man. This is why we pay homage to these folks. This is why we be recommending these books. This is why we be recommending people watch these people. Man, listen, Steve Coakley. That was my guy back in the day. R.I.P. to Steve Coakley, Khalid Muhammad. All of these people, man, they put their lives on the line to give us this truth. They put their lives on the line. They put their lives on the line to give us these truths, man. Do you know how many of these people that I mentioned died broke financially? Because listen, we haven't made it worth your while financially to talk about the cause, which is what I feel like we need to do. I feel like that's one of the main ways to change the narrative, especially on these platforms. We have got to start rewarding the folk that's talking about the cause. Instead, we reward the folks for talking about the ignorance. That's what you do. I mean, again, and you can't blame folks for looking at that and then trying to emulate that. Like, ooh, I see all of this money going toward people that's talking about dysfunction. So let me talk about it. If they saw the money going toward people that was talking about unity, then they're gonna be like, all right, cool. I'm gonna talk about that then. I'm gonna build on that. Like, that's what I'm gonna build on. That's where it look like the money is at. Because again, especially when you talk about the youth, they understand money. Like, when they talk in terms of like money, they want to see where money is at. So if you show them that, hey, it's money in speaking positively about black folks, speaking about uplifting black folks or uplifting black folks, then they'll do it. I'm telling you, they'll do it. They just don't feel like there's money in that because they haven't seen enough examples of that. They going where they see the money is at, man. So they have got to see a financial incentive for them to like pursue something. You know what I'm saying? But when they see that, they're like, oh, okay, he making big money, and all he uplifting black people. I might pay attention now. But if they don't see you out here making ends meet, uplifting black folks, they don't want to hear nothing that you gotta say. They don't want to hear nothing you gotta say, man. They not worried about what you saying. You know what I'm saying? They not respecting what you saying. So kudos to most of these cats that I mentioned, man. Hey, and shout out to Mumia Abu Jamal. Free Mumia out here. You know what I'm saying? That's another one. Free Mumia. You know? Mumia Abu Jamal. Like, all of these people, man. These are people that I was studying way back in the beginning, and I still study them to this day. And of course, I did not name nowhere near close to all of them. This is just a few names off the top of the dome. You know, but these people, they put their lives on the line. They knew the consequences. If I start talking about this, if I start exposing that, I might end up in jail. I might end up falsely in prison. I may end up assassinated. I'm putting myself in harm's way. I'm putting myself in harm's way. I'm putting myself in harm's way. And that's it. ENT, you say, what does freedom mean to you? And that's actually a good question. The first aspect of freedom, because I always deal with the mind first. So the first aspect of freedom, it starts mentally, you know, and I feel like that's the part. I feel like that's the part of the game where most of us lack freedom, is mentally. So I don't feel like we can have any form of physical freedom, whatever that may mean to the individual, until we get mental freedom. Now, what is mental freedom? I feel like mental freedom is, I'm gonna go back to Bruce Lee. I always talk about emptying the cup. I feel like mental freedom is when you are able, especially as a black person, to empty the cup. Basically, understand that everything that you were once taught was a lie or it was fabricated. So now you empty the cup, you get rid of all your biases, all your prior information. And it's like you start from scratch. You open your mind up. You open your mind up to all this information that's out here. And that's going to lead to a process of research, of studying, of accepting new truths, things like that. So I feel like mental freedom is you emptying that cup. Is emptying that cup. All black people have to go through this process of emptying the cup. That's what I had to go through. When I was 2021, I had to empty the cup. I had to let go of every belief that I ever had. I had to let go of all of it. And I looked at everything like it was fresh, like it was new. And I eliminated all my biases. And I just started studying freely. I started studying freely. And this led me to different avenues. Things that I would have never traveled down if I didn't empty that cup. There's no way I was gonna ever become vegan, become vegetarian if I didn't empty the cup and accept the fact that everything they taught me about nutrition was a lie. There's no way that I was gonna ever open up to the 5% culture if I didn't accept the fact that everything that they taught me about religion was a lie. Like I came up as a Baptist. I had to eliminate that though. I had to eliminate the fact that I was only following something because my peoples told me to, or my peoples was following it. I had to empty that cup. I had to rid myself. I had to rid myself of that. I had to rid myself of these thoughts, of these biases, of these beliefs. I had to do that. I literally had to do that. I had to become more objective to the information that was out here. You know what I'm saying? So that's essentially what I did. And that led to my growth and development. I went through the same school system like everybody else. I could have accepted a lot of those things that was taught to me just like everybody else. But at some point, I had to eliminate that. And I had to become a great student, a great listener. And that's what a lot of people have told me. Man, you very coachable. You teachable. That to me is part of mental freedom. Being coachable, being teachable. Being able to be told something. Being able to be corrected. Most people do not have that ability. Most people think they know everything. I'm not telling y'all anything about, like, I'm not even telling you my version of freedom is right. You can have your version of freedom. It is what it is. I'm not here to argue with that. But if somebody is telling you and standing on some type of square in regards to what freedom may mean or what's the definition, like, come on, man. This is how I see. And this comes from the culture, the 5%. We always ask a person how they see it. How do you see this degree? How do you see this? How you see today's mathematics? It's all about how you see it. So I'm not here to tell you how I see it as being correct. You got your own version of it. I got my own see on it. I got my own outlook on what freedom means. You know, I got my own outlook of the process that I went through. You know, and I'm telling you first and foremost, like, that was mental freedom for me. Ridding myself of all of everything that I was taught up to a certain point. The age that I was at that time. Me eliminating all that information, saying, all right, boom, this was a lie, this was wrong, this is killing me, but they told me it was right. Let's, boom, reset. Let's reprogram. Like I said, there's no way I could have read Elijah Muhammad, How to Eat to Live, with a biased mind, accepting everything that was taught to me. I would have been arguing with that, like, this is wrong. There's no way I could have read a book on veganism and been like, and just accepted that. Like, no, I had to clear my mind of all that nonsense that was taught to me. I was believing that I needed to drink milk for strong bones. I was believing that I needed to eat meat for this, for protein, this, that, and the third. Like I was believing all these things. I had to let all that go. When I came into the 5%, man, I thought I was reading books. I was thinking I knew something, but I had to trust in an enlightener. You know what I'm saying? I had to trust my enlightener. Boom. That was me being open. Me being open. Me saying, all right, he might know more than me. You know what I'm saying? He didn't experience some things. So let me listen to the OG. Instead of saying, oh, I know something, I know everything. Nah. I wasn't on that type of time, man. I wasn't on that type of time at all. You know, and then along with that, along with mental freedom, just emptying the cup, along with that, now it comes the power. Power is basically your ability to do, your ability to be, your ability to think. When you start exercising that mental power, when you start learning how to control your thoughts, that's another form of mental freedom. So now when you have emptied the cup and you said, okay, boom, all of this was a lie, and now let me insert the truth. Let me insert the truth. And again, you're gonna know the truth. You're gonna know what resonates with you. That's your truth. So now let me accept the truth. Then when you accept the truth, now you start living that truth out. That's you exercising that power. Your ability to be, your ability to do, your ability to think. That's mental freedom. I feel like I'm in a mentally free space because now I'm living a life that I have designed for myself. Again, people think freedom means no restrictions. I don't think that. I feel like freedom is born out of restrictions. So I'm not one that's talking about, oh, freedom means we just out here doing whatever we want to do. I don't see freedom like that. I see freedom. I see a lot of freedom in discipline. I see a lot of freedom in restriction. And that's, again, exercising mental power. That's freedom to me. Freedom is me saying, all right, I'm going to fast. I'm going to fast for 5 days. That may sound like a restriction to you. That may sound like some strict discipline, but to me, that's freedom. That's my ability to do something. That's my ability to say I'm not going to eat. That's freedom to me. That's freedom. That is freedom. Me being able to say, listen, I'm not going to eat for 5 days. I'm going to drink water. I'm going to drink liquid. And then I do it. I'm free. I said I was going to do something and I did it. That's freedom to me. That's me exercising power. That's mental freedom. That's mental freedom. And that's something that's elevating my health. That's freedom. That is freedom. Again, freedom don't just mean we run around doing whatever it is we want to do with just no rules and regulations. That is not freedom. No, freedom, you got rules and regulations. But guess what? I'm creating the rules and regulations. And I created a set of rules and regulations that's going to elevate my health. And I'm sticking to them. That's freedom. That's freedom. Freedom is I didn't learn some rules and regulations that's going to benefit me, that's conducive to my overall health and well-being, and I'm abiding by those rules and regulations. That's freedom. I said I'm not going to eat X, Y, and Z. I'm going to fast. I'm going to fast this day. I'm going to fast that day. I'm going to read these books. That's freedom. That's freedom. So again, it depends on who you're talking about. We break down freedom as free dome. That's free in a dome. Again, what is your dome? It's your mind. Tukey Williams talked about it in his autobiography. When they put him in solitary confinement, he talked about mental freedom in that book and how he was able to cope with things and accept the fact that he was going to die, this, that, and the third. Mental freedom. That's why it's called free dome. That's how we break it down. That's how we got to break it down. So again, it's a lot of different breakdowns for freedom. A lot of different breakdowns. You know, freedom itself is not something that's good nor bad. Mervin, I don't see all of what you're talking about, but I see you referring to something that you experienced dealing with your own people. I'm here to tell you, brother, I'm never telling somebody to disregard what happened to you. Just like the black men and black women dysfunction. I done had some terrible things happen to me via black women, and I done had some brothers do me dirty. You know what I'm saying? I done had some of the same experiences that you're talking about. I done had similar experiences that you're talking about. I done had brothers talking about killing me. I'm telling you, I done had some traumatic experiences coming from my own kind. We ain't nobody telling you to disregard that. You know, at the end of the day, all we can strive to do is get you to understand the cause of this, you know, and the condition of black people in America. And it ain't making it ain't trying to justify it, making an excuse for it. So again, you had your experiences, and we're not telling anybody to disregard that. But best believe you're not the only one that had these experiences. So it's plenty of other brothers and sisters that have been betrayed and did dirty by their own people, and they still stand committed to the cause. And they didn't disregard what was happening to them. So again, you're not the only brother that then had some traumatic experiences. Like I said, I done been did dirty by black women, but I'm never going to give up on my sisters. I never did give up on my sisters. You know what I'm saying? And some of them did some dirty things to me, just straight up. And my brothers, man, I had brothers steal from me, steal money from me. I mean, like I said, I done had brothers plot on me. You know what I'm saying? Betray me. I'm talking about do me dirty. Do me dirty. But at the end of the day, when I chop it up, I'm gonna chop it up with brothers. I'm gonna chop it up with brothers because historically speaking, I see who did us the worst. I see who did us the worst. But you know, we have got to stop assuming that people such as myself and other folks that had this message, we got to stop assuming that we haven't had anything bad happen to us. And I think a lot of people make this assumption. They start hearing me talk about black unity, and they start telling me about things that can happen to them via black people, courtesy of black folks. Like I haven't went through any type of trial and tribulation with my own people. Yes, I have went all the stuff that y'all talking about that y'all didn't experience with black women. I have went through it too. I just don't get on here crying about it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't went through all these type of the same things that a lot of these brothers be crying about. I see what y'all be talking about. Y'all know my wife got a whole channel revolving around this. Some of the same things y'all say y'all experienced, man. I went through some of these similar things before I was in my situation, man. So I know what y'all talking about. Y'all see what's happening now, but y'all don't know me. Y'all don't know the person that I was before all of this. Y'all don't know what I went through before that. You know, so we can't make assumptions. I didn't been did dirty by black folk. Dirty. I just choose not to focus on these things and speak on them. That's it. I got stories for days. I got stories for days. I got stories for days, man. Some of the same things I be seeing y'all talk about online, man. I got stories for days. Stories for days, man. I got stories for days. Because y'all got to understand, I don't, first of all, I don't fool with white chicks, so I only fool with black chicks. So best believe, when that being my reality, best believe I'd have had some crazy experiences. Experiences. I don't necessarily have no white male friends, so it's only been brothers. So best believe I'd have had some crazy experiences. Best believe. I done been there, done that. So I'm telling you, you're not alone. I done had some crazy things happen to me, man. Crazy things happen to me. But I get it. If you want to choose to not disregard some traumatic experiences, I can't tell you to do otherwise, man. I get it. I get it. Like I said, I done had some people betray me that I never like trust again. So when it comes down to it, I just won't rock with them. You know what I'm saying? I done had them same situations, man. Some brothers that I didn't knew since birth didn't betray me, and it almost don't get worse than that. Been knowing somebody since birth and they betray you? Come on now. Like I've known you the longest in my life, you know, and these individuals be the ones doing you dirty that you can't trust. So I've been there, done that. I've been there, done that. But it is what it is, man. You live and you learn. I guarantee you, though, y'all got to understand proximity is a thing. Proximity is a thing. We got to understand we have more of a chance of getting done dirty by our own people because that's who we are around the most. So it's inevitable. If we were around white people, guess what? We gonna have other stories to tell. We gonna have a lot of stories to tell about how white people did us wrong because that's who we are around the most. So man, it's not surprising that we have stories. We have these negative stories about what we went through, and what we experienced dealing with our own people. It's not surprising. It's not surprising. It's proximity, man. I don't know about y'all, but I grew up in a predominantly black area. I went to predominantly black schools. So all I know is all black people. So again, I'm gonna get did dirty by black people. It ain't because I'm not around white folks. But best believe if I was around a predominantly white area, which I went to college in a predominantly white area, game changed. Now you white folks, now I'm seeing how they treat us. I mean, which I already knew it, but now I'm around them, and things getting weird. Like things getting very weird. So it's not really surprising that we done had traumatic experiences from our own people. If you grew up around predominantly black people, man, I done had they done broke in my car, stole from me, stole my beats out my car 2 times, stole my radio, stole my brother radio. All of this is all that happened. But again, come on, proximity. Proximity in the system that was designed to keep us in man, y'all know the experiment with the rats in regards to the cheese, in regards to the projects. Y'all know that. That is what they have done to black folk. We gonna feed one rat, but then we gonna have the other rat starving. Then what's gonna happen? Y'all know how that go, man. Y'all know how this is happening, man. But it's called it's just proximity, man. But again, like I said, I can't tell anybody about how to handle their experience. I can't. Like if you wanna, like Mervin, if you have witnessed some things and that's resulting into you not trusting your own, man, I will never argue with you. You know what I'm saying? That is how you have chosen to live your life. And you know what I'm saying, rightfully so. Because some things have happened to you. And you just haven't let them go. And you know what I'm saying, you don't want to disregard them or whatever. I'm not gonna tell you that that's wrong. I'm not gonna tell you that it's right neither. It's just the way you choosing to live. So it is what it is. It's the reality. It's the truth. Just like I'm choosing to live the way that I live, just like I'm choosing to have a perspective that I'm choosing to have. And I done been through some very weird things with my own people. But I'm not going, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to disregard. I'm not going to abandon them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to do it. I try my best not to talk down on them. I try my best to speak life into them. I try my best to do it. And if you want to say that's to a fault, I'm all cool with it. I'm cool. We all have faults. We all have flaws. We all have causes that we committed to. And sometimes being committed to those causes, being passionate about those causes can distort us from a lot. So I'm cool with it. I have chosen this path in life. I have chosen to have a certain message in my life. You know what I'm saying? I have chosen to have a certain perspective in my life. And I feel like it's my duty to put that energy into the atmosphere by any means necessary, whether people agree with it or not. I have been that black sheep in regards to this type of perspective for a very long time, especially when it wasn't popular before, then when it became popular, and then when it's not popular now. I've had this similar perspective, and I'm never going to deviate from it no matter what I go through, because I feel like it's what my people need. So if one person takes something away from what I'm saying, that's what I need. If two people take something away from what I'm saying, that's great. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to continue to put a certain type of energy into the atmosphere because I feel like some people need it. And the people that need it, they're going to catch it. And that's what I do for. That's what I do for. That's what I do for. Mervin for sure. And I always apologize, man. I be apologizing for other folks. You know what I'm saying? When people tell me what they've been through at the hands of other black folks, man, I'll be like, I'm sorry that you had to experience that. Like I be feeling bad, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I just know what it is out here, and I hate that we have to experience these things. But at some point, like I get it. So I be trying my best to just shift the perspective and the energy. I try my best to do it. Trust me, I had them days I wake up like, man, he you know what I'm saying? I don't feel like dealing with my own folk, but I gotta keep it pushing. ENT, you say, what are some? Hold on, you say, ENT, what are some things you would do if you was in charge of Black America? And that's a very good question. That is a very good question. I would more so focus on creating certain systems. So when it comes to, I'm gonna say like educational systems, we gonna focus on that because I believe that's the foundation of everything in existence is knowledge. So I would start there. I would start there. I would start with proper education. That's literally where I was. Proper education always corrects errors. So if I was in charge of Black America, I'm literally where I would start is proper education. We will be properly educated about the knowledge of our true selves. So we will get the proper information, the proper knowledge in regards to our history, you know, and that's gonna help our present state, and that's gonna help us build a better future. So I'm gonna start with proper education because I feel like that's one of the main reasons why we are in the condition that we are in right now is miseducation. So I would just take the opposite approach that they have taken to us. I would make it more. I would place incentives on. Like I would make proper education the key. So I would teach everything that's necessary. Now we can have conversations about that, but we're gonna teach proper education. And then instead of rewarding people for not being in relationships, I'm gonna reward people. I'm gonna reward the woman for having a man in her household. So I'm gonna make it more of an incentive for Black families to remain together. So I'm gonna do the opposite of what they have done to us. All I gotta do is study what they did to us and do the opposite. That's literally what I do. I take all of the trash foods out of the grocery store. So now we only got fruits, vegetables, organic foods, whole grains, this, that, and the third. That's how I would change the fabric of the Black nation. I would ban all of the garbage foods that's out here, all of the toxic foods. We already got countries out here, European countries, that ban certain foods. So I do the same thing. I say, boom, I'm in charge of Black America. We ain't finna eat this, that, and the third. We only gonna eat X, Y, and Z over here. We ain't eating A, B, and C. We eating X, Y, and Z. Then I'm gonna make it an incentive. Black families that remain together, they get paid X amount of dollars. You know what I'm saying? They get financial incentives. So you get rewarded for having a man in your house. Just think about it. What if I gave people food stamps for having a man instead of the other way around? You finna get rewarded for being together. I'm gonna do something like that. I'm gonna do something like that. I'm gonna reward the Black man and Black woman for being together. Oh, okay, that's a family. We gonna reward them. We gonna get them money for food. We gonna get like I'm gonna start doing things like that because we gonna try to bring the Black family together. That's how I'm gonna move. So I'm gonna take the opposite approach. I'm gonna see where they hit us the hardest. I'm gonna see where they hit us the most, and I'm just gonna do it in reverse. The educational system is going to be completely reversed. Omar Bay, appreciate the donation, the cash out. But that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna look at the food. I'm gonna look at the food supply. And say, man, they feeding us X, Y, and Z. I'm gonna ban all of those toxic foods that's killing us. I'm gonna change what we see via the media. I'm gonna only promote Black health, Black unity, Black love. Like that's all you gonna see. That's all the music that you gonna hear on the radio. That's all the music that you gonna see on YouTube. Like that's all that's gonna be. If it's anything other than that, it's banned. So I'm gonna do the same thing they doing, just in reverse. I'm gonna just ban all the stuff that's going against the Black positivity, Black love status quo. So I'm gonna reward you for speaking life to your people. That's what I'm gonna do. Oh, you out here promoting drug usage amongst your own people? We ain't putting that on the radio. Ban that off of YouTube. Nope. So we don't take away from again. We're not just gonna let people do what they want to do. No, we are going to. It's called justice. That's in our alphabet. That's in our lessons. So we deal with justice. You know what I'm saying? Justice is a penalty and or reward for your actions. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna serve a penalty for anybody that's promoting destruction amongst Black civilization. You'll be penalized. Oh, you promoting this Black dysfunction? Ban them. All you talking about is drug usage and selling drugs and killing your own people? Ban it. That person is a threat to Black civilization. Instead of promoting, I'm banning that. Nope, that's your penalty. Don't be talking about that. Oh, they talking about Black love. Mainstream, everybody finna see this video. Everybody finna hear this song. Oh, they talking about Black health. Everybody finna see this. Everybody finna hear this song. Everybody finna see this show. Oh, you wanna get your show to air on Black TV? Okay, it's gotta be promoting Black unity, Black health. That's the only way that this thing's gonna get aired. Like that's what I'm doing if I'm in control of something. I'm just gonna do everything in reverse. So yeah, all the people that's promoting negativity, y'all gonna hate me because y'all gonna get banned. Y'all gonna get banned. I'm telling you flat out. Y'all gonna get banned. Y'all talking crazy, banned. So again, I ain't finna just let Black people do what they want to do. Nah, it's justice is gonna be served. If you out here putting that poison into the people's minds, guess what? You getting punished for it. You receiving a penalty. Best believe it. So we ain't playing with folks. We ain't playing with folks at all, man. That's how I would do it. That's how I would go about it. And we gonna teach the proper information. But y'all, man, with that being said, man, I done built long enough, man. I done got the vent now. But man, I appreciate everybody. Mervin, man, listen, I wish I could chop it up with you just in a physical, man. You know what I'm saying? Because here's a black brother. I promise you, I won't do you wrong. I won't steer you in no wrong direction. You know what I'm saying? I just hope you have more experiences like that. I just hope you have more positive relationships with black folks, man. I'm gonna put that energy in the atmosphere for you, brother. Like I really hope that happens for you. Again, I get it, man. You went through some things. Hey, and I ain't telling you to forget those things. I just hope you have better experiences down the line with brothers, man. I hope that for you. I hope that for you, man. That's all that I can do, man. I can just put that energy in the atmosphere, and I can tell you just at least on my end that hey, you ain't got to worry about that. I ain't finna talk bad to you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't finna do you dirty. You know what I'm saying? Again, but those just words. Like my actions gotta back those words up. So I get it. You might not want to hear words right now. You know, words ain't gonna do much for you. So again, man, we can only show and prove through our actions, man. You know what I'm saying? So I just hope that you receive some action from some brothers right here that can just neutralize the prior action that you received from brothers, man. That's it. That's all that I can hope for you, man. That's literally it. I really hope that happens for you. Again, I'm not where you at, so I can't physically be there. You know what I'm saying? But all I can do is just look out for you every time you tap in with the kid and try to speak some life and positivity to you. And hopefully, that shifts some of the energy. Because I'm just here to tell you, man, I done been through some things, man. We can chop it up one time and we can just vent on the things that we done went through at the hands of brothers and sisters. It is what it is, man. I do it all the time. But with that being said, y'all, man, I got to tap out, man. I appreciate the input, man. I appreciate the love, man. It's always peace, man. Again, we got to continue to just unify, teach this information, man. Teach this health, all of that good stuff, man. It's positivity, man. We have got to teach it. That black love, man. That black unity, that black health. We need it, man. We need it. We need it, and we just got to start rewarding each other for doing it. Like I said, that's the justice. Reward the people that's out here risking their lives, man, because again, it's risky. When I get on a platform and I show my face and all I'm talking about is black unity, y'all know how many doors and closed on me? Y'all know how many jobs I have not gotten in my life simply because I'm on Facebook and I'm on YouTube talking about what I'm talking about? Y'all know these jobs, y'all know these corporations, they tapping into me. When I go fill out the application, they checking me out on social media. My face is coming up. You know what I'm saying? They've been doing that. So, you know what I'm saying? We got to look out for each other, man, because again, it's risky to be out here talking about this. It's risky to be having these books in the background and telling y'all to read the ISIS papers. It's risky. You know what I mean? It's risky. But some of us don't have that fear instilled in us. We gonna do what we gotta do by any means necessary, man. Like seriously. But it's a risky game that we playing. A lot of folk then put their life on the line with the same type of message that I have. And it didn't end well for them. You know what I'm saying? So I know and I gotta understand that, and I still gotta go out here and do what it is that I'm doing. So it's a risky game that we playing, man. I'm putting my life on the line every time I get on here and tell black people to unify and try to speak some help. Y'all know how many health practitioners then died out here, then been killed. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see all the brothers that tried to unify other brothers and sisters. What that happened to them? So again, it's risky, but we ain't scared over here. What Bone Crusher them say, we ain't never scared. We gonna continue to do what we need to do because y'all see this mass shooting incident. It's real in the field. It's 2022 and this is still happening. That young boy was 18. So again, we gotta wonder how many people he influenced with that situation, with that manifesto he put out. So we gotta start teaching and training ourselves and these babies to do what's right and exact out here, man. And we got to let them know about the common enemy. All of the black coaches, we speak on this common enemy. And y'all know who I'm talking about. And we got to continue to speak the truth about each other. Speak that life into each other. Speak that knowledge into each other, man. We have got to keep doing it. We have got to be relentless in our pursuit of this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. It's real in the field, and it's going to continue to get more real in the field. Y'all see what's happening out here. Y'all see the prices of everything going up. Y'all see these mass shootings. Y'all see all this type of stuff that's happening out here, man. Pay attention. Keep your head on the swivel. And as they say, we got to stay dangerous, man. But I'm out, though. I appreciate y'all. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Sunday, man. I may try to tap in with y'all again tomorrow. But as Styles Peace say, man, love is love. I'm out. Y'all be easy, though. Peace.